This part begins. And we see Sancher, who is thinking, he is so calm, does he really have an answer to my question? That's impossible. I have been preparing this question for a long time now. This stupid patriarch is only in the spiritual realm, how could he know? And the great elder is saying, do you know the answer, patriarch? Then Ning Tian says, what is Tao? I don't know what's so difficult about this simple question. Just take a good look. And Ning Tian starts going down rapidly. And he reaches the stage. And seeing Ning Tian, the crowd starts saying, the patriarch has entered the stage. The patriarch has shocked us too many times now. And a female is saying, how will he shock us this time? And Sancher says to Ning Tian, I see that you are young, and your level is low. Does the demonic heavenly sect really wish to be as hasty as to send you to answer my question? And Ning Tian says sometimes, some things are not determined by age. Then we see Ling Ao, which is saying, it's stupid to call this question simple. I suppose he is just talking nonsense. Sissy, I will now tell you what Tao is. And then Ning Tian starts telling Sancher, Tao, it's formless, soundless and scentless. It's vast with no boundaries, and tiny with no space. Tao, it creates all of heaven and earth. It's the whole energy that dominates everything in the world. And the crowd starts getting very surprised after listening to Ning Tian's words. And an old man starts speaking, as expected of the patriarch, his understanding of the Tao is so deep and unfathomable. And the other guy says, why couldn't understand the patriarch's words? And a woman says, regardless, he looks so cool, and Yaoqi Saint is thinking, he is worthy of being the legendary patriarch. He stabilized the situation with just 2 sentences. And after listening to Ning Tian's explanation, Sancher tells him, do you think you can get away with it by spouting some words that no one understands? And Ning Tian says to him, what are you talking about? Hey, it's bad to be that uneducated. Listen carefully. For you, there won't be a lesson like this again. There are 3,000 paths, each of which have their own understanding. Take the sword Tao for example. This path uses the sword intent. It is the swordsman's understanding of the sword. If the person who is practicing swordsmanship understands sword intent, he can be said to have understood the sword Tao. By analogy, what is Tao? I don't need to explain them one by one, right? What the patriarch is saying is that there are 3,000 kinds of Tao among those paths, right? Every one of them is unique in its own way? And the crowd gets very shocked after hearing Ning Tian's explanation. And Ning Tian further explains, the Tao is simply the path you choose. Among the 3,000 paths, when you succeed in cultivating one, the Tao is already in your heart. Otherwise, how could you succeed in cultivation? Then, the crowd gets very excited after hearing this. And they all start saying, I get it. The patriarch's words have enlightened me and solved all my issues. I am going to break through. Sancher along with the crowd gets very shocked after hearing Ning Tian's words. And he is saying, it can't be, it's impossible. To cultivate the Tao, to understand the Tao is in the heart. If it was that simple, I would have. And then, after listening to Ning Tian's words, Sancher makes a breakthrough. And he becomes even more shocked. And Ning Tian is smiling, and he is saying, he doesn't admit it with his mouth but his body is honest. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, I didn't expect that my casual talk could shock these talented people, they must be easy to fool. And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system says, you are shocked. Everyone present. Bonus skill card, Great Emperor Strike. Great Emperor Strike. You can use the strike of a peak Immortal Emperor Realm. After use, the skill card becomes invalid. And seeing the system notification, Ning Tian is thinking, the strike of a peak Immortal Emperor Realm Cultivator. If I encounter a powerful enemy whose realm has several stages higher than mine, this is equivalent to having a life-saving trick. And the Great Elder is very shocked, and he is saying, in the past, one wise thought from him shook the hearts of many talents. And now, he cleared up everyone's doubts. Having such a patriarch is truly a rare blessing for us. But Luo Wuqing is watching Ning Tian's moments carefully. Then Sancher says to Ning Tian, I admit, it is my loss today. And saying this, Tianxuan starts leaving the stage. And the crowd is saying, the patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect is amazing. But while Tianxuan is saying, the plan failed, so the sect leader has to make a move. Humph! So what if you can answer it? After I return to the sect, you and your sect will suffer a huge loss of face. After this, Ling Ao says to Ning Tian, the heavenly soaring sect, Ling Ao. Please guide me, patriarch. And Ling Ao comes on stage. Then he says, I wish to discuss the sword Dao. And seeing Ling Ao in front of Ning Tian, the crowd starts saying, the show is starting. Ling Ao is the most powerful among these three geniuses, and his strongest point is swordsmanship. Can the patriarch still stand victorious? And Ning Tian says to Ling Ao, bring it on. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, great. Just in time to test the martial arts given by the system. Then Ling Ao takes his sword out of its sheath, and he is saying, the shadow sword in my hand is a treasure-grade weapon. And he attacks Ning Tian with the sword. And seeing this the crowd starts saying, heavens! In the entire heavenly spirit domain, the treasure weapon is one of the most powerful. The sect leader really values him giving him such a sword. Treasure grade? Is that so powerful? Weapons of the domain are generally divided into 5 grades. Magic weapon, spiritual weapon, treasure weapon, immortal weapon, and artifact. I heard there are grades above artifacts, but no one has seen them. And Ning Tian starts smiling after listening to the crowd. And he is thinking, I see. However, the weapon is secondary, its effectiveness still depends on its user. And Ling Ao turns his sword towards Ning Tian. Then he says, Patriarch, why don't you have a sword? If you don't, how can we discuss the sword Dao? And Ning Tian says, I don't have one. And hearing this the crowd wants to give their weapons to Ning Tian, and those people are saying, Patriarch, I have a good one. And the other man says, use mine, Patriarch. Mine is good, it's a spiritual weapon. Then we see that energy starts coming out from inside Ning Tian, which is thunder. And Ning Tian is saying, although I have no physical sword, I have other ones. And as soon as Ling Ao feels Ning Tian's aura, he gets extremely shocked. And he is saying, aura turning into a sword, your swordsmanship has reached complete perfection. And we see that because of Ning Tian's power, a thunder dragon has been formed. And Ning Tian is saying, sword intent dragon. And Ning Tian attacks Ling Ao with the dragon. And Ling Ao gets very nervous after seeing this. Then the crowd is saying, such a fierce sword intent. It's like a blue dragon bursting out of the mountain plar, it's incredible. Then Ning Tian apologizes to Ling Ao and says, sorry, my hand slipped. Even if I have understood sword immortal practice to master it. And Ling Ao is very nervous. And he is saying, the sword intense patriarch and I have mastered are not at the same level at all. There's really always someone better. Patriarch, I surrender. In this exchange I've lost. And as soon as the crowd hears Ling Ao saying that he has accepted defeat, they all become very happy. And they all are saying, he won. I know it. The patriarch would definitely win. He actually defeated the most powerful genius of the demonic path. The patriarch is truly strong. And Ling Ao starts leaving the stage. And while leaving he is saying, Yaoqi Saint, will you come next? And seeing Ling Ao leaving, Ning Tian is thinking, I at least got the chance to fight with someone and test the sword's intent. Then we see Yaoqi Saint, which is speaking to Ning Tian, Patriarch, I'm not here to discuss Dao, I'm here to. And as soon as Yaoqi Saint says this, purple-colored energy starts coming on the stage, seeing which Ning Tian gets surprised. And he's thinking, this is bad, my aura is being suppressed. I can't move. Damn it. And due to that energy, Ning Tian's power starts getting suppressed. And he comes on the stage by the hair of his knees. And he's thinking, it's an immortal Emperor Realm cultivator. But it can't be the Luo Wuqing. Who is it? And this video ends with this question. And as soon as a new chapter of this manga comes out, I will upload its video soon. And if you want to see its next part soon, then definitely subscribe to my channel. So see you in another video. Till then, bye.